So I just got done watching a fucking horrific, cringe-worthy video that really just sets me off, and I told you, ladies and gentlemen, I fucking told you it would get more aggressive. Now, to an extent, I can't really raise my voice as much, but you'll see kind of that aggression that's going to be going on right here, right now, because this is one of the things I was talking about while I was in Texas, that I saw some stupidity that I did not want to see, and it was pissing me off. Now, before I get into what I'm going to be talking about, I want to make a few things clear with this topic here, that I do believe in civil rights. Martin Luther King Jr., from what I believe, has taught us very well that civil rights is a way to get something done, to be peaceful and protest, and that we do not judge by the one of colors. We don't judge someone by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Now, it has a tad bit of a correlation of why I'm actually saying this in regards to this video here. This video that was brought to you from username as Gazi Kadzo has made the video clear, called Don't Tip White People, which this kind of baffled the fuck out of me, because I didn't know exactly what this meant. I thought this was a troll video. I thought this was just something just to piss people off in some way, and indeed it did for me. But as you can see, it's no fucking joke. So without further ado, we're gonna play this video for you guys, and yes, I am going some guy 827 style this time with my Fujifilm camera. So let's go.
So a couple months ago, an African in South Africa, aka Adanja, said that he was not going to pay his white waitress. He said verbatim on the receipt slip, he said, "I will give you a tip when you give me my land back." And that guy,
I will give you a tip when you give me my land back. So, does this person know that person that works that job? Does he have any proof or correlation that that person's family had enslaved his family or took his land? Or for the matter, took any land that belonged to anyone in that country? Do you have any correlation or proof of that? I mean, feel free to show, because it would be much better on your case if you kind of did.
thinking, I was like, you know what, Uhuru? He is right, he is lit, he is factual. And that got
factual? He didn't provide any fucking facts of whatever. I just said it. Where's the correlation? Where's the evidence of it? There's no proof of it. And this is the thing that pisses me off. We're in 2016. We're in a time that we really need to fucking work together, because the economic status right now is a fucking shithole. Not to mention, we have a generation of kids, even though I'm not trying to go off the subject here, we have a generation of kids that thinks that things should be just handed down to them on a fucking silver platter. Donald Trump, in my opinion, which, as much as I fucking hate to admit it, is kind of winning the presidential election right now, and already other countries are not fucking happy about this, and we're driving the country into a shithole, and we're still bitching and moaning about this. Over reparations, over someone that you don't even know, or the person may not even know, over something that the person has no relevance to, that had nothing to do with it. Now, unless they happen to take pride in that fact, or happen to be a racist, or happen to insinuate that bullshit, or carry on that bullshit in some way, there you go. But where's the correlation in it? That's the fucking problem here.
Me thinking, as an African in America, why am I giving Kay Becky tips when Kay Becky hasn't given me my reparations?
So you're okay. So Kay Becky, I'm just gonna say this. Kay Becky is just obviously it's just gonna be the label for white people in general who work. Now, look, I'm not defending one race. I'm kind of saying this in all aspects of racism, or not racism. I'm sorry. I'm saying this in the fact of all races, is that people are just trying to work a genuine job. You know. So don't tip a white person. So what's your next mentality going to go to that? What's going to be the next thing on your mind? What, don't tip Mexican people because they're jumping over the fence and trying to take our jobs? Is that something you're going to be insinuating next? I hope to God no, because if you do, I'd be fearing for my fucking life, and already I have a headache inside of my head that is about as big as a baseball, and I feel like it's growing and growing every time I listen to this.
Okay, so the title of the video, to tip Kay Becky or not tip reparations? No, I'm not gonna pay you, girl, because you owe me reparations.
Which, in fact, you have no correlation or no proof of, and you're just going to use that to justify any means of someone you don't even know, or someone's ancestry you don't even know. Not every single ancestry in that point, and I'm not saying that it hasn't happened, but I'm saying that not every single white person's ancestry owned slaves. But even if someone had ancestors that owned slaves and had nothing to do with it or want nothing to do with it, it's not their fucking fault. So why should they owe you for something they took no part in or wanted nothing to be a part of? Or let alone the fact they didn't even want anything to begin with, and they wanted to actually be in a more place where they can be more accepting of people. So are we going to insinuate this over someone you don't even know, don't know their ancestry, you don't know much about, and you're just going to insinuate I'm getting reparations as means of justifying a way to just get money back?
You haven't paid me for all that free labor to build this goddamn nation.
Okay, and again, what correlation did they have to that free labor or all that to the ancestors that you may have had? I will admit, yes, it was shitty. The atrocities that were made to slaves throughout that point of history, it was bad. I'm just saying, what correlation did this person as a waitress or a person working at a genuine job, how did they fit into it?
To build this economic system, to build your goddamn military.
White people and black people weren't the only ones to be in the military too, you know. So you're going to really have to be more clear on that one, because time span of history, that's changed. So what are we going with? Are we going with 1950s, 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, 1990s? Or are we going back to some of the 1800s here? Because there were also African Americans that did participate in the Civil War as soldiers too. So what are we insinuating?
To build your bank system, all that, girl, everything, girl. We work for me, and you haven't given me reparations, girl.
Okay, so just take. It's 2016. Are you fucking? Oh my god! I'm just fucking playing the video. Just fucking play it.
You know, Kay, Becky, and Troglodyte Tom, you know, white Kay kids be all like, well, you know, why are we paying you? Why are we paying you? You weren't a slave. Your mama wasn't a slave.
Exactly. If you weren't a fucking slave, then what the fuck is your problem? What in the fuck is your problem? You had nothing to do with what's going on, just like I had nothing to do with whatever my ancestors did. And as far as I'm aware, my mother, my grandmother and grandfather, and my great-grandfather and my great-grandmother had nothing to do with whatever was going on that time. That part, right there, and on my other part of my side, my family with my dad, had nothing to do with whatever happened. We weren't even near any of the aspects of racism, but unfortunately to that time, when you move and when you have to grow up somewhere else, you're going to kind of notice it down the road. So in a way, racism does play a fucking role in this video too.
Well, those Native Americans that you are paying reparations to right now, that ain't Pocahontas, boo-boo, that ain't Littlefoot, that ain't Black Bear, okay? You've been stole their land hundreds of years ago, and you...
Again, wasn't us. It was our ancestors back then. Get the information right. And I think it's horrible, I agree. But again, wrong fucking time. Wrong fucking people. And people, I mean everyone. Wrong fucking generation. Wrong whatever. You really want to make a fucking difference? Go out there and fight for it. Martin Luther King Jr. got what he wanted because he actually went out. He didn't fight for it in a physical way or violent. He fought with peace. He fought with what he wanted. He wanted people to be equal. Do you see him asking for handouts? Do you see him asking for that shit? No, he went out there and he had the balls to do what he did. So unless you walked a mile in Rosa Parks' shoes or in Martin Luther King Jr.'s shoes, shut the fuck up.
Still paying them reparations. So you can pay me reparations for what you did to my people 100 and a couple years ago, boo-boo. And that is not even how that works, girl. That is not even how...
Okay, but who are you saying this to? Are you saying this to all white people? Because, like I said before, not every single person that's white had anything to do with that. Not every single person had anything to do with what happened then. Unless you want to go after the racism guys or the fact that the people that actually take pride in that, then yeah, go after those guys. Do not generalize, though, as a fact that all white people are like this. I'm just going to bear that in mind. I'm not saying as a fact that you do, because I can't correlate any evidence that you say all white people have, because you haven't said it in the video. But if you are going to generalize or discriminate against white people because of that notion, then go fuck yourself. I don't discriminate, I don't use racism, I do not generalize any aspect, whether it be race, fan base, someone's family, anyone, or a cultural aspect in that manner. Do you see me doing that? No. If I want to actually go get my money, I go out and fucking work for it. Just like every person, Caucasian, African, Mexican, Japanese, German, or Indian American. They're all working honest jobs, earning an honest living. They're going out and they're going what they want. They go and get their honest pays work. They are working for what they want. They are making a difference out there. But no, just idiots like you just want. Jesus.
Now that works, hey Tom. That's not even how it works. Okay? Don't even sound right. So
This
because
part,
you late
just
on
listen to
your
this.
payment, that evaporates your debt, that evaporates what you owe me. That's not how that works. That's like if T-Mobile called me now and it's like ring ring ring. Oh, this Gazi was good. Hello Gazi, this is Cindy, and I'm just calling so we can rectify the situation of you owing us $237. And I'll be like, well, Cindy, how long you been working at T-Mobile? Because you sound new. I've been working here for like a week or so. Cindy, I don't owe you shit. Okay.
And again, okay, not to cut you guys off, but this is like very incoherent right here, because this is absolutely making no sense to the fact of, oh, how long have you been working here? It's just a difference in years of whoever's working at an area. As opposed to reparations for something that happened over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and you're now finally getting to that point? Oh, Jesus.
Hey, this is a past due payment of a month, girl. I don't owe you nothing. You only been working here a week, girl. This bill is a month old. And Cindy be like, well, let me get my manager, okay? She's been working here longer than me. All right, bring her. So, hello, this is Stephanie, the manager, and I'm here to rectify the situation of the $237 that you owe, Gazi. Girl, how long you been working there? I've been working here at T-Mobile for a year and a half now. Well, girl, this contract was signed up, okay, 4 years ago, girl. So I don't owe you shit, girl. I don't owe you shit, okay? You wasn't there when I signed that bill, girl.
Exactly the point. You weren't fucking there. See, this is how I can actually finally correlate what you just said, and use it as use it to contradict your own self. You basically just said you weren't there to that person, just like you weren't there when that shit was going on. Now, too many families I can understand, but that's the point. For you, you weren't there. Just like I wasn't there. Just like he or she wasn't there. So this person that you're gonna offend by not tipping them over some trivial bullshit they had nothing or no correlation or no relevance to, you're gonna piss that person off to do so. So what if we flip this around and saying, oh, let's not tip the black person. Oh yeah, that's going to be construed as racism now, right? Oh, but if we don't tip white people, oh yeah, that's not fucking racist at all. No. So let me put that clear for anyone in the aspect, whether it be Caucasian, white, African, black, whatever. Don't give a fuck. It's racist either way. So, yeah, I want to make that clear.
Oh, Tom. Where's Tom at? I don't know who Tom is. I don't know who that is. Girl, Tom is the nigga that signed me up in my contract in New York, okay, in Flatbush. That's the only nigga I owe. So he's the only nigga that can call me, okay? I owe you shit, click. That's not how that works. I can't get away with that. You can't get away with owing reparations just because you late on your goddamn payment, girl. You still owe me. And until you pay me reparations, you ain't getting no tip, okay? You already forced me to pay taxes. I pay taxes for you to continue this prison industrial complex.
Just like everyone else is paying taxes for, so why the fuck do you think you're getting a special handout for something you don't have any concrete evidence or any sufficient ways of proving that that really fucking happened from that person's ancestry, or for what happened to you. If you can't correlate it, then what the fuck? But yeah, I pay fucking taxes just like anywhere. I'm going to say it again. Caucasian, African, Japanese, German Americans, etc. We're all paying taxes here. So what the fuck? You're not special. No one here's fucking special. We're all here trying to earn an honest pay. For those that do give a shit, yeah. But if you really want to go after people, I'm just going to say it again. If you really want to fucking go after the others, you go after the fucking racist assholes. You go after the ones that take pride and over their heritage that actually thinks that, oh, that slavery is okay. You go after those people. And not insinuate this bullshit over some trivial notion for someone that's just trying to earn an honest day's living.
A system that oppresses African people. Okay, I pay you taxes to have these police terrorize my community. That's force, okay? That's force.
Now, to some plain and extent, I can actually agree with you on this part, that it is horrible that we have police doing that. But let's make it clear, though, that not every single policeman is like this, so we're not going to generalize in any aspect. Like I said again, from any race of any police officer, we're not going to say that every white one, black one, Mexican one, it doesn't matter. We're not going to say that all of them are like this, so I'm just going to make that perfectly clear, too. But yes, I do agree that it's horrible that police brutality on African people, it's a horrible thing. If they insinuate it because they think it has more power over people, then yes, that is horrible. So I will agree to you to that extent.
Girl, this is tip is not force. I say no. I say no. Anyways, y'all, Uhuru, make sure to go to justice4dominique.com to support justice.
Pretty much, it ends right there when they're talking about the Justice for Monique. Ladies and gentlemen, seriously, it's 2016, we can't get over this. I mean, I get it, we have racism going on still, and that's a horrible thing, but we still can't get over history that was over hundreds and hundreds of years ago. We can't work together because we're still throwing these stupid-ass things of history at each other. We're just thinking that we're more self-entitled now, even though from a fact that we've already got enough, soldiers and people that are already, that are homeless and shit like that. But from what Gazi Kazdo is saying, that, oh yeah, reparations for me. What about the fucking, actually, you know what? Think about this. If you were to put it that way, what about reparations for those that, I don't know, use that money for the homeless, for anyone? Anyone in that matter. Anyone. Can we use money towards that? Can we actually use that to boost, the way to get them back into their homes? To actually get them back to living again, to function in society? Can we actually get them to do that? Because if that's something, then I could actually say, oh, well, yeah, I have faith in humanity. But no. Just gimme over some history I had no involvement in, other than the fact that they were my ancestors, and I was born, hundreds of years later, and I had nothing to do with it. Give me reparations. You want fucking money bad? Go fucking work for it. Oh, and before any of you cocksuckers actually insinuate that I'm a racist asshole, no. I want to make it perfectly fucking clear that I support the civil rights movement, I support equality for all races, but what I do not support is people thinking that they can just get handouts for something that, for one, they can't prove, two, thinking that they're more self-entitled, three, incoherent bullshit and thinking that they're always more deserving. That doesn't just go for what this person's saying. That goes for anyone. Anyways, I'm Jasmine about the ThrashMetalGuru. Have a wonderful day.